we're going to attempt chocolate eclairs. I've never made these before, and for me it seems a bit challenging, but I thought I'd give it a go. So we'll see how it goes. What I've done is I've pre-measured my ingredients. I've got 75 grams of strong white bread flour, 50 grams of unsalted butter, then another 50 grams of unsalted butter, I'm just keeping them separate, 2 large eggs, 150 ml of water, and 200 grams of dark chocolate. I've mixed a whole bar of Bourneville, but that was only 180, and then I've topped it up with some dark chocolate chips. So that's there, ready. I've lined 2 baking trays that I'm going to use to pop the eclairs on, and then I've got a piping bag that I'm going to use to pipe them on. I don't have a nozzle, but I'm just going to cut it, and I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll go with that. I've just got a couple of wooden spoons. So the first thing I've done is preheated the oven to 180, which is because it's a fan oven. If it was a non-fan assisted oven, it would be 200 degrees. So now I'm going to go over to the hob and melt 50 grams of butter with 150 ml of water. Once the butter's melted and it boils, I'm going to switch it off, then pop the flour straight in and whip it up really fast until it forms a ball. Then I leave that to cool for 15 minutes and I whip up my eggs and then slowly incorporate them in until it creates like a glossy ball. That's the theory. See how it goes. Right, okay, so I'm just going to get my pan. I've used the least sticky one, my most non-stick one, because I want the best result there for it. And I feel like its sticking would not be ideal. So I'm just popping my water in. And my butter. Okay, I'm just going to bring this to the heat. Okay, it's boiled. I've taken it straight off the heat and I'm putting all the flour in. And I'm whipping it up to form a ball. Oh, this is so difficult. Getting a bit longer here, but I really need to get it to form a stiff ball. It's starting to come away from the edges. That is what we're looking at. Quite happy with that. It felt really challenging at first because it started to like clump up, but it's okay. Brill. Okay, now I want a 15-minute timer. So I'm looking at 5 to the hour. It'll have been 15 minutes and that's when I can have my eggs. So I'm just gonna whip my eggs up. So that's the next step. Okay, so I always whip my eggs up with a fork, so that's what I'm going to do. It says to use an electric mixer or a wooden spoon. They seem quite different extremes. An electric mixer is going to make it really, really easy, and a wooden spoon, I feel, would make it quite hard, but okay. Either way, I'm going to do it with a fork. None of the options discussed, but it's fine. Okay. I just find it works really well with just a fork. My eggs whipped up. Well, okay, so what I'm going to do now, while I'm waiting for that to cool, I may as well whip up my cream, so I'm going to get that done. Right, so as I'm waiting for the mixture to cool, and as my eggs are already ready, I'm going to whip up my cream for the filling. So it says to use 200 ml of double cream. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a teaspoon of icing sugar just to give it a bit of sweetness. So that's what I'm going to do now. I am using my stand mixer to do this. You could use a hand mixer, you could even do it by hand for extra points. I'm just going to measure out my cream. Actually, I'm not going to measure out the cream, sure. So this is 150 here, and I just need a bit more. So a third of the other one. Fine. That'll do. That'll be fine. Right, okay. Now I'm just going to add a teeny weeny bit of icing sugar. Spoon. So I'm using a teaspoon of icing sugar. Just because I want to give it a bit of sweetness. There's not any sugar in the choux pastry. There is, I suppose it's dark chocolate, but it's not particularly sweet. So I want a little bit of sweetness in the cream. So I'm going to whip that up. So this is ready. Just going to take it off the attachment. Really nice. Great. That hint of sweetness really does help. So I'm just going to stir it in and pop it in the fridge to keep it cool. So it's nearly crunch time. I need to beat my eggs into the dough a little at a time until it forms a glossy dough. Not gonna lie, a bit worried about this part, but it should be fine. I'm sure it can be done. The website says it's a little bit more effort. Not that it's hard. We'll see. It's crunch time. Right, let's beat this a bit. Add the egg. Beat, 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 beat. Come together, please come together. A third hand would be super useful right now, but I don't have that. Okay, it's loosening off, it's not splitting or doing anything funny. Whew, this replaces the gym, jeez! Whew. And all warm. Come on, off the spoon. Why did I want to make eclairs? Right, that's smooth again. Let's add the last bit. Woohoo! Let's see what I'm doing a bit. Okay, this looks really nice and glossy. I have visions of scrambled egg with dough. This is alright. That feels good. Good. Have a sense of achievement. Right, now let's get it into the piping bag. Now what I like to do when using a piping bag, I'm going to use this one because it's kind of easier, is to use a tall glass, such as this one. Because then I don't get it all on the outside. There we go. Get this into the piping bag. I wonder if this would have been easier to use like maybe a dough hook rather than trying to do it by hand. I'm not sure. I don't know if it would have tried to start to like separate it or if that would have been a better shout. I don't know. There's a few recipes I've looked at that do say they are a challenge. Well, it all started because I looked at a tart tatin and it looks so nice. So I wanted to see if it's something I'd be able to do, but it does say it's challenging. It might be a bit much for a bake-along, because I like the bake-alongs to be something, maybe, you know, maybe something I haven't done before, but something that shouldn't be super difficult. But maybe I could do like a little series of like challenging recipes and see if ordinary folk like I can do it. Because, you know, certainly no chef, as you know, but it might be just interesting to see, you know, if we can do it. Getting the last bit out. Let me know if you'd be interested in something like that. Just pop it in the comments and I'll do it. If it's something that you think would be fun, I'll definitely have a go. Because there are some recipes that look just astounding, but they seem quite difficult. And I don't know if it's something that would be interesting to watch. I hope you are enjoying the bake-alongs. I'm enjoying doing them. Right, so I've got it in the piping bag. That was not too messy. So what I'm going to do now is trim the bottom, and pipe it onto these trays. So it says it makes 14. I don't think I've wasted too much mix, so that should work. So I'm going to do 7 in each. Maths wizard me. Chop the bottom. I don't have a nozzle. I think I did have nozzles at some point, but I don't know what happened. Probably lost them. Probably thought, don't use them. To be honest, when I have used nozzles in the past, they never come out as they should. I think, oh, they'll look really pretty like that. And it never really works that way, so. Is that evenly spaced? No, not in the slightest. I've got 4 there. We'll see how well I can space these out. 1, 2, 4. Come on. 4. It's certainly not even, but oh well. Put 1 there. 5, 6, maybe 7 here. Okay, there's 7 in that one. See how many I can pop in the other. 1, another one there. 2. Where can I fit another one? I can fit it on this tray, I think. Swap again. I can fit 1 more, I think, so I'm going to pop it here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. So 14 in total. That's all right. I'm going to leave this bit here. Now they're going in the oven, which is preheated at 180 fan for 25 minutes. And while that's doing its thing, I will melt the chocolate. See. Hi. So I decided to sort out my cream first because I want the chocolate to be melted as close to the time for it to go on the Eclairs as possible. Don't want it to start setting again. So I'm just going to quickly put my cream in a piping bag ready. If you don't have a piping bag to hand, you could use like a little plastic bag and just cut the corner off it, like maybe a sandwich bag. Either one will work fine. I personally don't have any piping nozzles, so I just cut the end off anyway. So it's really not that dissimilar. Right, so it's ready. Again, the end's not messy, so that's lovely. I'm not cutting off the end yet because I'm not ready to use it. I don't want it to leak everywhere. So I'm just going to tighten it off, pop it in here, and then put it back in the fridge. Just going to check how long I've got on my eclairs. Still got 18 minutes, we've got a while. I'm going to wait a little bit longer to melt my chocolate. So I've melted my chocolate, it's looking lovely. I could just drink this, but I won't. I'm going to top the eclairs with it. I kept it over the pan, and when I noticed it was starting to melt quite quickly, I quickly took it off the heat and just gave it a really good stir because I didn't want it to burn or get grainy or funny. So that's that. So the eclairs have come out. They've only just come out to have the steam released. So I'm going to do that. Now they go back in the oven for 3 to 4 minutes. Just going to pop them back in. My cream's ready to go in the fridge, my chocolate's melted, so when they come out now, I'm just going to pop them in a on a cooling rack and leave them for a little bit. I do need to wait until they're properly cool before I can put the cream on, as tempting as it is. I'm quite happy with how they've come out though. They look alright. Some of them are a bit cracked at the top, but maybe that's the ones that were on the top bit of the oven, maybe it was a bit hotter. Not really sure, but I wasn't expecting it to go so well, so fingers crossed. 1 minute to go on the eclairs. It's time! Idea to do it with your hand. Okay. So, going to pop them on the cooling rack. Should probably not do this with my hand. They're not super hot to touch. They are, but not too bad. They feel quite hollow, so I think that maybe makes it easier. I'm going to pop this out of the way again. Okay, so I'm going to give them about 15-20 minutes to cool, and I'll be back. So we're back. They are cooled. That was a lot quicker than I expected. So I'm just going to get a chopping board just to cut them down the side. Then we're going to fill them with cream and top them. I can't think of another way of topping them other than just pouring the chocolate on top. So it'll probably make a bit of a mess, but it's fine. It's a chocolatey mess. Right, I'm just going to get my chopping board. Okay, so let's get cutting. I'm really quite impressed with how this has turned out. It wasn't as hard as I expected it to be. I thought it would be much, much tougher, and actually, it's been alright. It feels very fragile, but that's how eclairs do feel, don't they? They're not the sturdiest of things. I can't believe I've made eclairs. I'm really chuffed. I'm not that keen on choux pastry myself, but my family love elephant's feet, chocolate eclairs, profiteroles, big fans. So it's really nice that I've been able to make it. I think they could have been bigger. rather than having 14 little ones, having like 7 really big ones. Did you know that Eclairs have less sugar than cereal bars? I've had a look at a couple of cereal bars and you're looking at around 33 grams per 100 grams, so 33% of the cereal bar being sugar. Whereas a chocolate eclair, you're looking at about 17 grams per 100 grams, so it's 17%. Now you wouldn't think of giving your child a chocolate eclair as a break time snack, but you think nothing of a cereal bar, would you? And actually, it's got tons more sugar. Now, I'm not suggesting we switch to Eclairs. There's also a lot of other stuff in them, but it was interesting to me. I was just thinking about what goes in them, and I was like, there's really not much sugar in there. So, food for thought. I'm just opening them up when I cut them, just so it's easier to get the cream in after. Okay, they're all cut now. Thought I'd missed one. Not gonna lie, feeling proud as punch right now. And anyone can do this. This is definitely not that hard. It's a bit more effort, but it's not uber challenging. It's alright, this. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way and get my cream. So this is the cream we sorted out earlier. Just going to cut a hole at the bottom to let it out. I'm going to go with a smaller hole because when I was piping out the eclairs, it came out quite suddenly, so I just want to have a little bit more control over it. Let's see. That's one. I'm going to move them out of the way. Do it one at a time. Okay. I fear that I might run out of cream. Because it's something where you could be a little bit too generous. Let's see. Hopefully we don't, eh? But then if I do, I don't need a set amount, it will be fine, so just have to play it by ear. Play it by ear. I don't know if that's the right expression. Bosh. I'm gonna run out of cream if I carry on like this. Once I've got these two filled, I'm gonna see if I can fill up any more with any more. Just want to make sure they've all got some before I start topping any up. Okay, that one's looking fat. Okay, are any scanty ones? That's really well filled. That one's, to be fair, they're all quite well filled. That one's definitely okay. I think there's more towards this end where I was a bit worried I was going to run out. Okay, you can have a bit more. They are most certainly not uniform in size. That one's a bit empty. There we go. There's a bit more there. A bit more for you. You've got plenty. You'd be disappointed if you were the one that got the one with least cream, wouldn't you? To be fair, actually, I think they're all pretty well filled. I'm just gonna fill up any gaps around here. Any that stand out. So that's a bit of a splurge. Bloop. Great. Don't want that there. Right, perfect. My chocolate's still nice and melty. Like I said, I can't think of a better way other than making a big mess, so I think I'm just going to go for it and deal with the mess later. So, move them out of the way again. maybe space them out a bit better. They don't sit up straight, do they? That's okay. Right. It's exciting. This is going to be super messy. Oh well, never mind. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Guys, these look great. At first I was really worried about making sure I had no chocolate dribble down the side. But then I thought, have I ever cared when picking up an eclair if there was a little bit of chocolate dribble down the side? And the answer is no. I don't check. I don't care if there's a little bit of dribble. So, there we go. Chocolate eclairs done. I'll take pictures of what they look like when they're set. But hope you've enjoyed watching. Bye!